All right, welcome to The Explainer. I want you to think of me as your personal professional career coach today, and consider this your exclusive executive briefing. Look, if you're aiming for a high-level leadership role in 2026, you absolutely cannot rely on the old playbooks anymore. You can't just apply for a job, cross your fingers, and hope your impressive background speaks for itself. It doesn't work like that now. Today, we're going to break down exactly how you need to optimize your digital footprint, engineer your presence, and treat the whole interview process as a highly calculated, data-driven performance. We are going to bypass the gatekeepers, and trust me, those gatekeepers look very, very different than they did just a few years ago. So here is the hard truth that every executive needs to hear right now. By 2026, the hidden job market isn't guarded by who you bump into at the country club. It's guarded by sophisticated AI filters, sentiment analysis algorithms, and automated screening agents. If you want to actually get to the human decision makers, the people who actually sign the offer letters and welcome you to the boardroom, we absolutely have to outsmart the machine first. You've got to learn to speak the language of the algorithms while still capturing those human emotions right at the finish line.
So here's our meeting itinerary for today to get you there. First, we'll map out the 2026 battlefield. Second, intelligence and engineering. Third, the hybrid interview. And finally, closing the deal. Mastering these 4 phases is going to yield a massive return on investment for your career trajectory.
Okay, Phase 1, the 2026 battlefield. Let's dive right into this new terrain. The hiring landscape has fundamentally changed, and honestly, the most dramatic shift is the integration of predictive analytics in executive hiring. HR departments aren't just looking at what you did in the past anymore. They're actively using AI to predict your future employee retention and your cultural fit way before a human being even schedules a preliminary phone call with you.
The entire hiring cycle has violently shifted from human-first to AI-verified. In the old paradigm, a human recruiter, maybe a specialized headhunter, would read your application, look over your pedigree, and make a judgment call. Well, that era is over. Fun fact for you, nearly 99% of Fortune 500 companies now use some form of automated screening. The 2026 standard is that large language models, or LLMs, are scanning thousands of applications in literally seconds. If you aren't verified by the AI first, a human never even knows you applied.
And here's the kicker. AI is no longer looking for basic keywords. You can't just slap project management on a resume and expect a hit. Instead, the AI is hunting for semantic clusters. These are complex groups of skills and experiences that correlate with high performance. Instead of an isolated keyword, it desperately wants context. It's looking for statements like, led cross-functional teams to deliver X projects 15% under budget using Y methodology. You see? It wants the cluster of leadership, a specific outcome, and the methodology all seamlessly tied together. That is exactly how the machine predicts your value.
Moving on to Phase 2, intelligence and engineering. As an executive, I need you to completely stop browsing job boards like a consumer. You aren't shopping, you are a researcher. Your absolute first step before ever sending a resume is building an intelligence dossier for every single target company. You've got to use AI tools to scrape Glassdoor, Reddit, and the recent news cycles. Ask an LLM to summarize a company's top recurring complaints and their immediate priorities. You are looking for the actual bleeding neck pain points the hiring manager is desperate to solve, not just that sanitized corporate job description they made public.
And as part of that intelligence gathering, you need to map out the decision unit. Now, this isn't just the hiring manager. It's a specific constellation of individuals who hold the actual budget and, crucially, the people who influence them. You can leverage LinkedIn data combined with AI to identify all these key stakeholders. Because the winning move here is knowing exactly who is sitting in the room when your name is brought up and understanding what their specific individual motivations are.
So the crucial point is how you actually engineer your resume to pass the AI and impress that decision unit. Your resume is no longer a standard document. It is a data packet explicitly designed to be ingested by an applicant tracking system. So follow this strict formula for your bullet points. Action plus context plus metric equals result. But here's the real secret to nailing that human-AI balance. While you use AI to generate the structure and hit those semantic clusters, you must manually inject high-friction stories. Remember this, machines absolutely love metrics, but humans crave the narrative. That combination is completely unfilterable.
Okay, let's transition to Phase 3,
the hybrid interview. So you've bypassed the automated screening, the video intros, and the AI sentiment analysis. You're now in a live interview battlefield, maybe over Zoom, maybe face-to-face. But just because there's a real human sitting across from you does not mean the AI is gone. The interviewer is highly likely using AI to score your answers in real time. So we have to carefully balance automated tracking with genuine, authentic human interaction.
Which brings us to the most critical frontier question of 2026. How do you actually use AI ethically and effectively in a live interview? Well, the execution involves what we call the co-pilot strategy. You should have a cheat sheet, which you generated using AI prior to the meeting, open on a side screen. It should contain the company's recent wins, your specific project metrics, and those deep pain points you found earlier. You can even run live transcription tools to follow the interviewer's exact keywords on the fly.
But hey, the ethics rule here is absolutely ironclad. Never, ever let the AI speak for you. Your voice has to remain authentic. You're using the AI for rapid retrieval, not generation. And if you get hit with a really complex question and you just need a brief moment to scan your co-pilot data, use the bridge technique. Say it exactly like this. That's a great question. Based on my experience with Project X, I found this specific phrasing is a brilliant professional pivot. It buys you those crucial 3 to 5 seconds to recall your AI-organized data points totally naturally, without ever breaking eye contact or disrupting the conversational flow.
To really win in 2026, you've got to adapt the classics. You probably already know the STAR method for answering interview questions, right? Situation, task, action, result. But to really excel at the executive level now, you need the STAR Plus method. That plus stands for reflection. Sure, an AI can generate a perfectly logical sequence of events, but the reflection, actually telling the interviewer what you learned, showing a bit of vulnerability, explaining how you do it differently next time, that is the ultimate human element. It is something AI simply cannot fake, and it completely proves your executive maturity.
Let's move on and see how this all builds up into our final phase. Phase 4, closing the deal. Negotiation is where so many incredibly highly qualified candidates stumble, mostly because they rely on feelings instead of facts. They feel they deserve a certain number. But in this market, you have to execute a fiercely aggressive, data-driven negotiation.
You need to use AI as your personal data scientist. Have it aggregate salary data from multiple, diverse sources, Glassdoor, PayScale, specialized executive forums, to establish your undeniable 2026 true market value. Why go through all this? Because you aren't walking in there asking for what you think is fair. You are presenting a consolidated, fully data-backed market benchmark for your specific niche and your unique semantic skill cluster. You are literally showing them the math.
And that math leads to your absolute most powerful piece of leverage, the walkaway number. You must have your AI calculate your exact opportunity cost. Knowing precisely what you lose by not taking a job or what you're giving up by leaving your current one gives you immense, unshakable confidence. When you have a mathematically proven walkaway number, you can push for a higher base salary or far better equity without even blinking.
But listen, we don't just want to negotiate, we want to accelerate the offer. Speed is a massive competitive advantage right now. In a tight market, the very first qualified candidate to provide a tangible solution gets the job. Use AI to structure a forward-looking 30, 60, 90-day plan before they even make you an offer. Outline exactly what you'll learn in the first 30 days, what you'll implement in 60, and how you'll accelerate growth in 90. Handing them this document during the final interview places you instantly in the top 1%. Because suddenly, you are no longer a candidate, you are a consultant actively solving their problems for free.
Okay, finally, the interview doesn't actually end when you walk out the door. Your post-interview strategy is really the pre-interview for your next role. We call this the networking loop. Send an AI-enhanced thank you note that goes way beyond a generic "thanks for your time" and actually summarizes the specific challenges you discussed and the solutions you brought to the table. Use AI to identify 3 stakeholders you didn't get a chance to meet and reach out to them for informational interviews. And what if you don't get the role? Treat it as pure data. Ask for a skills gap analysis and have your AI instantly build a 3-month learning plan straight from that feedback. Look, the landscape has completely shifted, but the power, it is absolutely still in your hands if you just know how to wield the tools. You now have the exact playbook to map the battlefield, engineer your narrative, master the hybrid interview, and close the deal with undeniable data. So I want to leave you with this final provocative thought for your executive journey. Are you going to let the algorithm manage your career, or are you ready to step up and command the machine?